Spinfection increases every round. A build so strong it basically plays itself. Will this power make the Roundrel unstoppable, or curse him to be so incredibly lazy that it all falls apart? We're back in the forest to ball slap some slimes awake. It's Roundrel time today, and I'm starting with the flaunty gauntlet so I gain some pollution for every coin I hit. Who knows what madness we will find today. This is a very bomb-generous map, but we can find something more interesting to play with maybe. Just nuke all the slime bags initially, steal all their cash, and then invest in some cool ball down the line. Okay, gamble on a ball, get some Spinfection. So let's try to do a Spinfection thing. I wanted to do a debuff build with the new relic anyway. I don't know if I will actually find it, which is the eternal problem in normal runs. But we could custom it up also at some point. Is the one Spinfection ball that we have good enough to handle this army of bats and slimes and wooden boys? Things really do seem a bit unbalanced in the start. But then I'm also some kind of magical goblin god with balls as weapons, and I can do many things that no one expects, like hit a refresh peg, bomb the whole forest, poison up a tree. How that works, nobody knows, not even the scientist. And then all we need to do is snipe some spiders out of the sky. I've had a harder time with the Roundrel than any other class really, which doesn't make any sense, because the debuffs are supposedly strong. Just not so much when I use them. So now that I know what the problem is, I just have to fix it. Can I turn into a robo-goblin instead? Is it this useless tiny green body that cannot throw balls well enough? Or is it the brain? It's always the brain. So I can become a true internet person by merging my brain with the computer. I don't know how that will make me better at Peglin. Do I even need to be better at Peglin? I think that's also not really necessary. Can we handle these two dudes? We're on Cruciball 10, so it's not super hard. But we also have rocks and one poison ball and not really a whole lot going on. I'm hoping we find the relic that makes debuffs a lot better and we can just roll in with only poison. So a challenge where I try to do 100% only one thing and to go horribly wrong. But with Spinfection I don't see what the problem would be. It's just more stacks is more good. Roll in the poison, everything explodes. And Roundrel is the coolest boy in town. I don't like the looks of the guy who's supposed to be dead on the floor, vibrating and then shooting me with this backdoor giga cannon of chemical warfare. And again, perfect. Yeah, we made it through at least, more than half dead. And we get Bramble and Blind, that is debuff stuff, that's nice. We just need to find the Bramble or the Blind. I know I can get it with the random debuff, so it's possible. But it would be cool to do a Bramble build or a Blind build, or both with this relic. Just to see how well that can handle anything at all. Is there a strategy to this map? Fire a ball where it bounces into more pegs, preferably, but it always just seems to flop out as the map moves. But there's not really a lot of enemies, so I guess it's balanced reasonably well. And either way, it's all on me to play it better. That's just the way what it goes. But rock, good against bat, maybe. And even if it's not, we have other stuff going on with the Bramble Blinds. Tiny amount of burning. It's a ritual. It has to happen. Lightning balls. It's not a bad ball. You find a boss, perfect. It's the slime bag. Which... surely Roundrel is one of the better classes here, because you stack up the debuffs on the dude. The slimes spawn with the same debuffs. It's very nice. It's a fantastic touch. And if we get transparency, we can also shoot all of them anyway. That's an impressive miss of the crit. They got the bombs, at least to compensate, but it's like I'm amazed how that happens so often. Especially the lightning ball. That's... you had one job. Hit all the things. Can we ping into the crit here? Yes. Big brain trick shots. Nice. 12 stacks. Everything is dead. Poison reigns supreme. And, as usual, we can slap Mr. Moneybags, but we don't get his money because the map ends. That's a fantastic relic. 3 poison stacks. Is it worth burning to loot the remains of the pimp slime? Probably. We didn't really get that much cash. And we arrive at the bigger slime bag with the poison ball at the bottom of the bag. But if we can get just a random Spinfection and a Bramble blind combo, nice, that's a fantastic start. Now it will just tick up on its own. So we have all this free damage. I don't have to do anything. This might be one of the easiest self-playing builds of all time. Like, I can probably miss every ball now, and the Spinfection will just eventually get him. Like, it's already ticking down. He's just dead on the reload, and we get an AoE poison ball, also amazing. More balls, rare balls, or explosive force. Nothing here really helps at all. We can hit more crits and stuff with the multi-ball. And hopefully we can find more crit things, because that would apply more poison, and then we're just rolling in the poison with everything. So we have seen many times that we can poison the trees, but we cannot poison the shields that are supposedly made of the same trees. And so that, Mr. Science Man. One problem with a build that plays itself. I will get super lazy. The Curse of Complacency will take over. So is this a foolproof build? I am the perfect goblin boy to test that theory. It is interesting having a build that basically plays itself with that relic. You just get some poison stacks rolling, and then nothing else matters. The balls are irrelevant, the bombs are irrelevant, the map doesn't really matter. Every other debuff I have kinda also doesn't matter. But is it going to be strong enough for the Shonky Wall Man, for example? But I'm mostly thinking about the squirrel butt cannon, because if that is chemical warfare, then it makes sense that the robots would have to mechanize and become robo-goblins. Because they don't have gas masks. I don't think they have invented that yet anyway. Or is that also irrelevant because the only squirrel cannon is the wooden boys, and they don't exist anymore because we have moved on from the forest. Still, robo-goblins would be quite cool. So Mr. Science Man has something to work towards when Peglin gets another, like a level 4. Or Cruciball 4087 or whatever we're gonna end up with. So the squirrels live in the trees, that makes sense. But who's running the thing? Is the squirrel piloting the wooden boy? Or is the wooden boy infested with squirrels in a very, very bad place? And if so, what is inside this wall man that pilots him? Maybe that's the thing for the summoning circle. Because we saw the squirrel fire out of the wooden boy today, but we have seen the raw summoning circle, what the summoning circle looks like if you fire it as an actual summoning circle and not another ball. That was more of a frog kind of look. So maybe the frogs pilot walls. It could also just be more of a slime thing. We have brick slimes, right? So this guy is probably just a few brick slimes stacked up, and the slime could get through the cracks. More crits is more good. Damage doesn't really matter if we're trying to do big poison stacks. So the auto increase of the poison is amazing, but what else do I need to get really, really big stacks? Like, we need multiple hits, we need... There's a ball that doubles stacks, right? That could also be useful. But how do we get many stacks without the victims dying too soon? That's the biggest problem of any scientist. It's not doing the actual science, the math or whatever. We need a victim that lives long enough that we can push it as far as it can go. That's the dark side of Peglin. Another wall, another successful poisoning. It's also a pretty brutal way to deal with things. Just watch them tick down. Crab. Okay, I'm clairvoyant again. This is a double hit, so I think this will apply. If we shoot the crab balls at the same target, we will in fact apply twice the stacks. That's the first thing we need to test against the more HP plants. Okay, we have pollution, maybe we are fine. And even the lightning ball works with the crab. A lightning crab, cool. I like the synergies. Don't know how that really synergizes. And we somehow need to get this related to robo-goblins. Are we going android now? Part goblin, part robot, part crab. That's a horrible blend. Are crabs poisonous? They definitely are in this build. I like the double slap. Sure, it's half the damage, but if we are doing debuffs, it's the perfect fit. More hits is more good, more hits is more poison is more deleted bad guys. And we just need to force feed them some cake and apples and whatever other snacks are in the game, so they stay alive. Duplicate a ball, more poison, yes. I still only have 2 poison balls. Maybe it makes sense to have the AoE one. Brick slimes. Ripe for the poisoning. We have 2 balls but only 1 crit. And we didn't hit it. But we can also... Was that a Evolution crit from 9 stacks? That's incredibly lucky. And now they are just... The day is 1. I can retire. I can go back to the Robo Workshop and work on Mecha Goblins. That's a cool idea. And that was a double slap with the dagger. So what's worse? Double slap with the dagger or double ball slap? Is ball slap a dude awake? Mirrors. Okay, this... Wait, it's fine with the dagger, the lightning ball, and the cauldron, right? It's only this ball that will reflect. And the rocks, but the rocks are mediocre. And we did hit. So really what we need is pierce, so that I can shoot through all the dudes with every ball. That way we could double stab them with the Spinfection thing, and that would be a million stacks. So the relic what removes the bomb damage, unless you pierce. That is the stack multiplier. I don't think I've ever used that successfully. But there's a use for it in this build, clearly. I just wish I could give the enemies more health so they live for a longer time, that's what I need. Or like makes the stacks worse, maybe, so that they can last longer. 3 bonus loot, the crit thing. 2 crit things. They are not really gonna matter with the 1 crit I have, but it's some cool loot. And I am terrible at hitting the crits. But that's 16 stacks, so it does work. That's really all I wanted to know. And then we need to probably science that up somehow. And the cauldron bubble does not work with the crab, I guess that makes sense. But the lightning ball works, which makes no sense. And does this also hit twice? We can double the stacks and double them again. So the build that plays itself and the world's most lazy goblin. Can he beat the game with the easiest build in existence? Or is he cursed to be forever passive and lazy and get nothing done ever? It's not gonna be a slow, painful death, it would be a very quick death, it's already over. It doesn't matter what I do. Job done. A couple of stacks, up to no good. Disintegrating a painter lady in my neighborhood. Warm bit, remove the 1 refresh I have, that's always the biggest brain idea. Butt squirrels or durable? We're going durable. Alright, mine nerds, the tall knights. But can you handle the double crab? So we have transparency on one of them now. If I can get that on both, which we have, now the dream is alive. Maybe not with this ball, because it will still only go on that target, since it's a direct hit. But we should be able now to pierce both ways for cool things with a rock. But that's hitting them now twice each. So there's some magic to be had here for sure. Just as with all magic with rocks. Less interesting than basically any other magic. More of these dudes. The taller knights here to mock me for being a tiny goblin boy. But we have a dagger that now hits 2 people. I thought it hit 1 on the previous map. Doesn't really matter. We have the AoE poison ball. It's gonna mess them all up. And the blind bramble combo. All the debuffs. Very nice. The main problem now is that I'm still mostly a rockomancer throwing rocks still. We need better balls to pierce both ways. Because if you can double crab stab every ball, just imagine the stacks. The one problem I see is that when we pierce the ball both ways, it also goes through me. The crab is gonna do crab things. Peglin, take one of my rocks. They are not very poisonous. They are slightly poisonous because of the glove I have. But you don't really have anything else that does anything at all with poison. That's a bit sad. The weather veins have assembled an army of goblins to take me down. They heard of the mecha goblin plans and the poisonous crab. and a chemical warfare from a butt cannon with squirrels. All these insane ideas that they cannot stand for. They are purists. Bombs only. Nothing else matters. Only bombs. They are getting close because now the crab is not fast enough. Come on, crab boy. Poison them all. Poison them faster. Poison them harder. It's not enough, is it? But I dodged it. Cool. And then they explode. Chain reaction from poison. Fantastic. There was never any danger at all. Crab protects me. Keeps me safe. Crab, you could have chosen a better route than into this upside down man monstrosity. I don't even know what he is, but 14 stacks straight away. Pretty nice. And I'm blaming the crab, so I'm passing all responsibility to the crab. It's now in charge. I'm the laziest goblin in the universe, and Peglin is basically automated. I will just bank on this self-playing build. Throw a ball, things happen, they will always hit. There will generally always be stacks. Nothing else matters. I have some healing. Not a lot of pollution, but enough, clearly. And that is a mop, but it's a blessed mop because that's transparency on everything. So now we can always shoot through multiple dudes and double crab stab them from both directions for all the stacks of all the crabs. The crab mop combo is not what I was expecting today. Get a crab and a muppet for this. I already said it wrong. Never mind. Why are words so hard? It's impossible to speak the right letters in some kind of order that makes sense. I don't think transparency and the mop crab is working here anyway. But as long as we have enough cauldrons, we can just pour poison over the top of everything. And it can all melt into the goo. Which then, that's how slimes happen. So I'm causing the Groundhog Day that I'm in. By melting everything in my poisonous crab mop bucket. Then it just reforms into slime bags that I have to fight. So it never ends. A ghost in the mines. Can we double ball slap him back to life? Or is that not how things work? I'm thinking like math. If you have two negative numbers, it's a positive number. If you double slap a dead ghost, will it become an alive goblin? It's already rotted down to poison. Blind from bombs. But that will also bramble. So we can now bramble blind with bombs. It's another combo that will never really matter, but it's always nice to see things combine. And the transparency is just out on everyone. Doesn't really matter with the lightning ball. Does matter with this poison stabber though. We have double stab on everything. Amazing. They are rotting down super fast. That was 100 stacks when he exploded. One extra crit. Sure, I mean we are trying to crit to get more stacks, so that's fine. Also got the bomb secret, which is filled with bombs. Yes, that also makes perfect sense. So this crab thing is more interesting than I thought, especially with debuffs. But I need a better setup again to get that done properly. So if you have any suggestions, how do we really maximize poison or any other stack with the crab setup? The boss that is actually 4 bosses. We need to do a quadruple ball slap here somehow. With transparency, that is still possible. Or just throw the cauldron over and over. Let the stacks do its thing. Maybe we need evolution as well. It's good for crits if nothing else. And I don't think I really have enough healing to just be safe. But with evolution, no problems at all. The mechanized poisoned crab goblin boy. That is also quite a cursed combo again. Would you rather be a robo goblin, a crab goblin, or just a regular crab stuck in a mop bucket that's also somehow covered in poison? So is it just the squirrel ball that was fired out of the bunghole of the wooden boys that started all of this? The poison crab curse, the mecha goblins to survive the squirrels. Squirrels don't sound that hard to deal with. But if you're mechanized, surely it's still easier. And these dudes, 45, 50 stacks. It's not like I wish I had more of the double balls to just get the stacks rolling. But we still have the same problem, like it's on 41 stacks. It's going to fall over anyway. Someone who is definitely not going to fall over is the Balladin, as he tries to reflect his way through the entire Cruciball. That challenge run is right here if you want to watch that next. Thank you for watching.